We are speaking today with Lily Narbunn and Justin Jenna. They are the artistic directors of Lanescoven. We are also speaking with Dylan Waite. He is the writer of a very exciting new project they have going on. It's called Savannah, and it is a radio play on the Lanescoven site. Lily and Justin, do you want to tell us what's this all about?
Sure.
So Savannah is a highly original radio play, and we have Dylan and Justin on with us. Justin Kime is the director of Savannah, and it was a long and entirely socially distanced process, and we'd love them to share the creative dive that it has been. So
Great.
Yeah, fire away, Justin.
Yeah, so Dylan and I have known each other for quite a long time. We actually went to the same undergrad program, Sonoma. And so we've been actually doing original plays for probably about 10 years now, as hard as that is to believe. And so, yeah, during quarantine, we just kind of really, wanted to flex our souls, get back to work. And so this radio play just kind of, I'd say, kind of appeared out of nowhere. Dylan and started writing this in October, and then
yeah, as a writer that tends to be independently produced, it's always hard to nail down actors. They're working, they want to do paid stuff, and COVID was the one time that there were all of these actors that I knew that were saying, we have nothing to do. So I were talking, and we decided if we didn't take advantage of the situation, we would have missed a big opportunity. So we started working on it that way, and I towards people we knew. And when it started getting serious, we realized we probably needed some producers to help us with aspects that we couldn't possibly understand. So that was when we turned to Justin and Lily, and we've been collaborating on it for several months now.
Yeah.
So I have to say that I have listened to 1.3 minutes of this play, and I am in it, man. It's a really cheap analogy for you guys who know all about playwriting, but I think about two women playing, like, Waiting for Godot. I mean, the exchange between these two women is so good. It's so fast. And this is 1.3 minutes. And I'm just like, what? Wait, who are they talking about? Wait a minute. Is she going to quit smoking? Wait, she hasn't started smoking yet. I don't understand this, but I wanted a lot more. It was so good. And I didn't need the visuals. It was really great as just an auditory experience. So, So Justin, I have to apologize that I didn't introduce you as the director, but I was like all over, who wrote this thing? So Dylan, could you just give us a little bit of background on who you are as a writer and what your sort of, ethos is?
Well, I've been writing since college. Justin and I went to a really small liberal arts college, which opened up a lot of opportunities for student-driven work. All throughout college, we were putting up shows at midnight or in theaters that weren't being used, and just trying to get as much interesting and strange stuff on its feet as possible. Sort of where I came out of this sort of like put it together with spit and duct tape kind of theater. After that, I was in the San Francisco Neo-Futurists, which is an experimental theater company in San Francisco, and that's more short form, eccentric, idiosyncratic. But my big love has always been traditional theater. I'm a big Shakespeare. I love Shaw and Brecht, so I've always been drawn towards like big plays with lots of characters and big ideas. So I try to do full-length theater like that whenever I can.
So Justin, do you want to tell us about your directorial experience and what's it been, and what was it like to direct a radio play? Was that different? Have you done it before?
Oh my God, yes. So my experience was mostly at grad school. And Justin, I was able to direct some original pieces, some of Dylan's work as well. So we have a really nice rapport. Radio play was completely different for many reasons. Obviously, none of us were in the same room. I think of these plays that I do are more like physical based. I love commedia. I love physical comedy. So this was a challenge. Take away all that, and we're just, using our voices and sounds we can create. So the technical aspect, developing a sound and putting that into the play was something I had no idea. Luckily, we had a great sound engineer, Sean Dorian, to help us out with that. But I loved what we were able to accomplish remotely. It was spent a lot of time rehearsing because I feel like it took a little longer to figure out the story just because we were so far away. But once we captured that, we got the ball rolling and everything was smooth. It was a great experience, I'd say. And it's up the waiting for Godot aspect, because when I first read it, there was something like mysterious about this play, and the language was so bouncy that I just immediately wanted to get my hands on it and try and put it out into the world, so it was a great experience all around.
Yeah, it feels really sharp and funny and intriguing all at once, just in that 1.5 minutes.
Yeah, Dylan and Justin are definitely the dream team when it comes to just creating a short, witty, sharp play with great dialogue.
That's also incredibly deep.
Yeah, they finish each other's thoughts and sentences constantly. So if one of them gets stuck, the other one's like, well, I'll write my way out of this, or I'll direct my way out of this. And it's phenomenal watching them work. They're a dream to work with.
Yeah, they've been a real hero team. It is not, just to more of Justin's credit, it is not easy to coach actors through the frustrating technical reality of hours on Zoom together. And of course, the actresses and one actor can see each other on Zoom like this. But there are a lot of different channels they're working with. They're working with their mic, the channel, and then their mic going into a completely different program to record their audio than Zoom. Mm-hmm. So they have to use their phone and their computer and make sure they're connecting to the mic correctly. And professional voiceover logistics like that were new-ish for everyone. And Justin was just very patient and very clear every time. And from what I observed, the recording process was just a little bit of a gift for everyone. They really got to just dig deep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and Lil, talk about those challenges of voice acting compared to performance acting in front of folks.
Yeah. Well, you really the actors have this up to see of each other, but the audience and Justin Kime when he's listening and Dylan as he's listening and they're critiquing and giving direction, all they have is the audio. So every time there's like a little flub and I stumble over my words, you have to stop. And in live theater, normally you just move forward. It's no big deal. But the precision required is a different bag.
And every single line and every single word of every single line needs that kind of detailed attention. And we thought we were just going to press play on Zoom and record a play, and we're like, it'll sound great. And then we started getting really in on the words, and we're like, oh my gosh, this one line is going to take a day. We're going to be here all day figuring out this one line.
To the actors' credit, they commit though. Yeah. They enjoy this.
Phenomenal
this
cast. It's just all the technology between everybody, just like right now, we're having a conversation, but none of us are in the same room. They have to convincingly sound like they're in the same room, looking out the window at, the young girl across the street smoking a cigarette. And it's like, it sounds simple, but then you start listening to it in your headphones and you're like, I don't believe it yet, just because of all the technical barriers.
That was a big challenge, but I think the most rewarding experiences is that, you know, Dylan's language is very bouncy, it's very fun, but it's also colloquial. But through a radio play, you can't just sound casual. You know, the audience, you might lose the audience a little bit. So we kind of had to re-navigate and have the actors prepare the text like they would, like Justin just said, where every word has a visual meaning. So it's, you know, it's heavier, it's weighted. You can see the imagery with them. Another pretty big challenge was, you know, the actors we work with, I love them so much. They're very physical. And so during rehearsal, we'd move around and you know, it'd be really lively. And then the first day of recording, if this is our mic, we'd move all around, and then our sound, I'm picking a lot of that up. And so we'd accidentally like hit the mics and stuff. So a big challenge was like, okay, how do we take how expressive we are and just stay still, but put it through our language.
So, really tough. Do you want to introduce the actresses and then we can tell people how to listen? Or I suspect there's one actor. Is that what you said?
Yeah, so we have Beatriz Miranda playing Cece, Belle Aykroyd playing Alex, playing Savannah is Rivka Boric, and then playing the role of James is Vincent J. Randazzo.
Great. So how can people listen to it? What are the parameters of the play? When will it be broadcast? How can we listen?
Yeah, so the play is going to be available through our website, www.lanescoven.com.
And it's free.
It's free, and it will be available April 15th, but you can go there now to listen to about a minute promo teaser that just went live in the past day.
Great. Well, anything else you want everyone to know about Lanescoven and Savannah?
Just check us out. We're doing fun, cool stuff,
Yeah.
and we're making it free and accessible to the entire Cape Ann community. We just want to get to know everybody and share our artwork and have fun doing it.
If anyone ever wants to talk, chat, get to know us, get involved, we want to collaborate. We want to offer the community things, and especially with the way the world has changed a little bit with remote access to meet and stuff. We figured that out with Savannah.
Yeah.
So we can do more.
Reach out at lanescoven@gmail.com. We'll get back to you. Promise.